Namaste, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat this morning for the next day in our 20 minutes of yoga every single day for the month of June. See how we go. What have we got today? Some fun. Planking for power. Accessing. As I said to you, I'm here not really to show you that much how to do yoga. That just happens. But I really want you to understand why yoga works, so why it makes us feel certain ways. So power for planking. Planking is super fun, but what it does is it taps into our feeling of our power. It lights the fire in our belly, our strength, our courage, our confidence, and it makes us feel capable. Plus it's super fun. You get super warm, super strong all at the same time. Strong body, strong mind. So you ready? Let's go. It's barefoot yoga, shoes off, don't need anything else. You just need yourself, and wherever you are, grab a hunk of floor, a hunk of mat, and let's light this fire, baby, in our bellies. Right, so over onto our tummies, onto our knees. Let's do a tiny little bit of warm up. So the biggest thing you need to know about planking, guys, is a lot of it is just learning to just feel in your body, stacking yourself. So the first thing I want you to do is come to the tabletop, coffee table. Middle finger at 12 o'clock, because we're going to be balancing, yeah? We're going to be balancing our hands and our toes. So the part of us that's on the earth is the thing we really want to focus on feeling. So middle finger, 12 o'clock, all the fingers spread out from there. And really press your hands into the mat. There'll be a little bit of a cup in your pads, but other than that, you feel the pads at the base of your fingers, you feel the heel of the hand. So really just pay attention to how that feels. Then I want you to have a little go at stacking. So you're going to bring your elbows and your shoulders over your wrists until you feel like there's one beautiful straight line coming through. Then think about our upper back. So we want to feel like our shoulders are shoulder distance. So we're going to roll our shoulders and drop our shoulder blades down our back and feel like you feel completely flat and smooth. Now, think about what's going on back here. We should have our hips stacked directly over our knees. Our knees are at hip distance. So everything is just stacked on top of each other. So all your joints are going to just feel at ease, and that's really the main point of it. So let's just have a quick stretch out for our shoulders before we get moving, because we want to access those muscles a little bit. No, let's do our spine first. So we'll just do a little bit of cat and cow just to warm ourselves up, because we're going to need to access all of this in order to get everything to work in harmony. So your plank feels powerful, but it feels at ease as well. So let's take a big breath in and start pushing the hips back and lifting the collarbones all the way to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, tuck it under. You know this one. This move is no stranger by now. Let the head drop all the way down. And two more times, beautiful people, in tune to the rhythm of your breathing. So there's the inhale, filling your lungs. Because if you think about the fire in your belly that we're about to stoke, think of your breathing as the oxygen that goes on to that flame. Otherwise, your flame will go out if you're not breathing. So no holding your breath. And if you can keep the fire stoked by keeping it even, by not holding our breath or huffing and puffing our way through, that's the part of keeping that flame burning brightly without it just going up in flames, yeah? All right, so we've got that spine ready to rock and roll. Let's just crank into our legs just a little bit. So from our beautifully stacked coffee table, you're going to stretch your right leg back, press into the pads of the toes, and just let that heel sink. We just want to feel our hamstrings there, our calves, the Achilles. The legs are just going to come along for the ride, but it's always a beautiful idea just to tune in. Back to where we started. Let's try the left leg. You're just pressing back and just pushing the heel back, not your body, but just pushing back from your leg. That's all. We're just tuning in right here. Coming back to nice and neutral. Now we'll just tune in the shoulders. So we'll do a little bit of puppy pose, one of my favorites. Sending the right arm forward and the left arm forward. Still with those fingers spread out. Middle finger 12 o'clock. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, you're bowing your head towards the mat. And just inviting your spine to lengthen down with you. And just feel that pressure in your hands. So what you don't want to ever do, you guys, is kind of let go and just slump into your poses, yeah? So when you're coming up, lift your head, walk the hands back up to under your shoulders, nice and stacked. All right, we're almost there. We're nearly ready to crank our plank. Here's what I want you to do first. Let's just take it up into down dog. That'll give us that feel of balancing on our hands and our feet, because that's what we're going to take into our little plank here. So pressing into the pads of the toes, and we're going to rise those hips. Now keep your heels up firstly, and just let your spine drop down. Just feel your spine. But what I want you to do mostly is feel that pressure in your hands. Feel like your shoulders are open, they're rolling out. It's nice and free, your head is loose. Then if it feels good, we've already done a little stretch in the legs, so maybe you can sink the right heel and then pick it up and drop that left one. Feels good. Bicycle it a couple of times. Excellent. And very slowly, you can sink both heels down, keeping those hips high, focused on the feel through your hands and your feet. All right, glorious. Now, feel like you're pulling your belly button up towards your lungs and back to your spine. This is where your fire is going to be lit. And you're just going to stack your body from here. So all I want you to do is just lift your head a bit and start pushing the weight forwards until you're feeling your shoulders start to come over your elbows and over your wrists. All right, little half plank. So from this position, you're looking down, make sure your head isn't up here or hanging. So you're just looking between your two fingers. All I want you to do is imagine there's a cup of tea on your coffee table and you don't want to spill a drop. So I want you to drop to your knees without it being this dramatic move. So what we're trying to do here, guys, is access the control to your core. So we are back in this perfect neutral position. Check it out. One of the main things is make sure your head isn't up here or dropping. So it's part of the process. So here's what I want you to do. Let's go into our plank. What you can feel here, so your sacrum is flat, your spine is long, your head is neutral. Not one single thing is going to move as you come into your plank. So I want you to feel like you're drawing your belly button up to your lungs and back to your spine. You're going to tuck the toes under, but all I want you to do is push your hands down into the mat and press into your toes to allow your knees to rise off the mat, and you push your heels back. And there it is. Same control coming back down. Don't collapse into your shoulders and into your neck. Probably the thing is if you're not moving the head, you'll probably be in a great spot. All right, shall we do that one more time? It takes a little while to feel this fire starting to grow. By the time you've done a couple of these, you will have a furnace glowing on the inside of you. So let's have a little go. Let's stack ourselves again. Tuck those toes under. Now remember, nothing is moving. In order to go up, you push down. So the pressure goes into your hands and your feet, and you push back through the heels. So what you're looking for is not to have the butt up here or to be sagging, all right? So just have a little go. There's your plank. Drop it back to the knees, big toes together, and we're going to take those hips down and just have a little moment. This is how we can let our fire mellow without burning out. And have a little breath and have a little moment just to rest the head. Beautiful. Without changing anything, you're going to lift your head and you just push yourself up. There's your neutral half plank again. So this distance you have between your hands and your feet right now, that's your beautiful space. You're just going to invite your body to move in. So we're going to do a couple of rounds, moving in and out of a half plank or full plank. And we're going to put a little bit of back bend in here. So I want to show you how you can use your plank to move into a back bend. We're going to stay anchored through the knees. Feel like your elbow creases are turning around, so they're kind of facing forwards, just a little bit, so you're just flattening through your upper back, staying in your plank, your coffee table position. As we exhale, we're going to bend our elbows in towards our chest, and we're going to press into our hands and lift ourselves all the way up. So we're in this beautiful cobra, not sagging, but pressing in order to go up, we're pressing down. And once you get the feel for that, so we're going to lift the hips now. So in order for the hips to go up, we press down. We press down through our knees and we press down through our hands. So it doesn't feel like we're inviting the spine. Big toes together and exhale, down we go. Can you see that distance? The feet and the hands haven't moved. I've got my perfect distance for me. Lift the head and inhale, come all the way back up into your coffee table. Tuck those toes under, pressing down to rise up. So we're pressing into the toes, pushing back through the heels, and finding, can you feel it burning, that tummy, that core? It makes you feel so capable. Back to the knees, big toes together, and down we go. Gorgeous, you're getting a rhythm now. Inhale, looking up, we're going to pop back up onto the hands and the knees. This time, feet at hip distance, tuck the toes under, press down to rise up into downward facing dog. Now, remembering that it's the oxygen of your breath that stokes your fire. So check into your breathing here, have a couple of breaths. All right, from down dog, let's go into our plank. So we are just going to stack, that's all that's happening. So now our hips are up. We've got to flatten this plank. So we're just going to start not moving dramatically until we stack. Pushing back through the heels, there's the elbows, the wrists and the shoulders stacked. Dropping down to the knees, big toes together. And let's take it all the way back down. Ooh, you guys starting to feel nice and warm. All right, coming back up onto our hands and our knees. Let's try that little move into our back bend, our cobra snake. So it is a tough little move. I'll show you a couple of other variations. So we're going to go halfway. This is like a half plank, but the hips stay nice and high. Don't push them back as we go. Elbow creases around, flattening, opening up your chest, accessing your power, your feel of being in control. I've got this, you want to say to yourself. Lifting and pushing into the earth in order to rise up. Glorious. Where are we going to go from here? We're going to push into the knees to a half plank. We're going to tuck those toes under and lead into our full plank. And what about plank to down dog now? Straight up and through, because you're starting to feel, I've got this. So one of the main keys for me is slow it down. You want to feel where you're going, don't be in a hurry. All right, glorious. Let's crank it up a bit, crank up this plank. So pushing back to your plank, there it is. You're just stacking, nothing dramatic. Feel that tummy, feel that fire. Back down to the knees, big toes together, and just come up to sitting. Check your fire, make sure you haven't extinguished it. We're trying to stoke it, yeah? That flame, this belly, is our sense of self. It's our courage and our strength. You know, we say it, don't we? If you've got the fire in the belly, have you got the strength to take on challenges? All right, I want to show you something really fun. We're going to use this same premise. I'll show you first because it's really hard to do when you're trying to watch. So all I'm going to do, beautifuls, kind of like a down dog, but I'm going to have my feet and my knees glued together this time. My hands are still going to be at shoulder distance. In order to go up, I'm pushing back. So I'm pushing back to a plank, but I've got my feet and knees together, tucking my toes under, shoulders, wrists, elbows stacked. I'm going to push, just roll, just push back through your heels. And there it is. Legs stacked together. And I'm going to use the feel of my body on the earth to roll over. Arm comes up if that feels good. And there you are. You find yourself. The strength that you feel, the capability to be able to maneuver yourself. Right, you're going to have a go now. So here we go, into your plank, or from your coffee table, your half plank. Bring your knees together, bring your toes together, your feet, keep them glued. Don't let them spread, because as soon as you split them, you lose your power, you lose your energy. Tucking our toes under, hands are shoulder distance. You're going to push back through the heels, straighten those legs, push down to rise up. And when you feel ready, think about it. Really feel through your right hand, and you're just going to start to roll over your feet and follow your body, keeping that right hand pressing into the earth, and see how it feels. You can roll back to where you started, and once you get the feel for it, woo, you got a furnace, a fire, your flame, your own personal flame. Have a go. Come back to neutral, drop to the knees. When you need a little rest, you know the place to go is in. And just sit inside your own fire for a while. Check it out. And we did it. Well done, everybody. Sliding yourself back up onto the knees. You can cross at your feet, however you want to sit. And let's let this fire burn out now. We got it. Hands at your heart and hands on the. And let's just, like we would with any good fire, it is all about the oxygen. So we're going to do some even breathing here. Let's just take a couple of breaths just to steady our flame. So it's a slow burn, not all just burning up and leaving us with ashes. Through your nose, soften your face, your eyes, and let's go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Just feeling like it's even. Count it. When you get finished, hands to your heart and feeling in that belly. The worst thing we can do with a fire is extinguish it by no oxygen, by snuffing it out. So we need that fire in the fire in the belly, our courage, our strength. So I want you to access, I want you to really feel it, visualize it. Close your eyes, you can maybe visualize a flame burning. And your job is to keep that flame burning. And reflect. How amazing. Look at you, balancing on one arm. That gorgeous strength, that sense of strength. This is what yoga is, you guys. Strength in your body is strength in your mind and strength in your emotional self. And this is what this is the point of the month. This is why I'm here, is I want you to know why we do yoga and how it makes you feel. So go burn brightly, gorgeous people. Have a wonderful, glorious day. Your planking for power is over. Go find your own power today. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.